Hey everybody, welcome back. Last week we talked about the role of committees in the legislative process, and we talked a little bit about some of my committee assignments. Can you remember what those committees are? Okay, if you said agriculture, commerce, science, and transportation, and finance, you get an A for the week. So that was last week's subject. This week we're going to talk about constituent services. And the question is, what is a constituent? Well, a constituent is somebody who elects someone to represent them at the local, state, or federal level. In this case, I'm one of your two United States senators that you elect from the state of South Dakota. And anybody who is a citizen of South Dakota is a constituent. And my job is to listen to what my constituents have to say and to try and represent their views in the United States Senate. And that means I've got to get a lot of feedback from people in South Dakota. And there are lots of ways that you can do that. But it's really important for me to be able to listen, to be able to hear what's on the hearts and minds of the people that I represent so that I can be an effective voice and advocate on their behalf and to make sure that I'm casting a vote that is consistent with their wishes. But in the area of constituent services, there are lots of other things that we do. Obviously, staying in tune with what people think, what they want to see done is part of that. There are lots of ways that we do that. We have phone calls. People call our offices. We have 3 offices here in South Dakota, in Sioux Falls, and Rapid City, and Aberdeen, and of course an office in Washington, D.C. And so if people want to get in touch with us, they can call us. Somebody will take that call, write down what their concern is, and we will respond to that. They can also communicate via email or other forms of electronic media that they can get their message across. So it's an email. Sometimes people still write letters, and that obviously is one way too of communicating. So any way that you feel the best way for you to get in touch with our office, if you have something that you want to bring to our attention, we are there to listen, we are there to respond, and whatever venue or medium works best for you to communicate that, we just certainly look forward to hearing from you. And there are lots of ways in which we can help a constituent with things that are important to them. For example, if you decide that you want to travel outside the United States, we've helped a lot of times with different high school groups, college groups, and sometimes when they've got stranded overseas, had to get them back into the United States. We had a group of high school students once who had their passports stolen in Rome, and we had to figure out very quickly how to get them new passports to get them back. But those are examples of ways that we can help constituent services. Any issue with a government agency, with any bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. that a constituent needs help with getting an issue addressed, we can help you do that. Another area that we can help with, let me take a look here at my list of things, is tours. So a lot of people want to come to Washington, D.C. to see the nation's capital, and we encourage that because it's a great opportunity for them to see their buildings. These are the capital or the people's houses, they're people's buildings, and so the House and the Senate, the Rotunda, all the things there are to see at the Capitol, we encourage them to do that. And we have staff-led tours in my office. If you want a staff-led tour of the Capitol, it's best to try and get in touch with us about a month ahead of your visit to Washington, D.C. so we can schedule it. But our staff loves to show the beauty and just all the history associated with our nation's capital. And obviously there are lots of other things to see and visit and tour in Washington, D.C. And we also help people try and make those arrangements so they can make the most out of their capital and their Washington, D.C. experience. When it comes to flying flags, obviously flags are something that people want to get a flag that's been flown over the Capitol. And flags are flown over the Capitol literally every single day, including the holidays. And sometimes if your dad, for example, wants to honor your mom on her birthday with a flag flown over the Capitol, if you contact our office, we can help make that happen and get them that sort of a flag. And the way to do that is very simple. It's just flags@thune.senate.gov if you want to contact us. But that's a neat way, too, to recognize somebody for a special occasion or a special accomplishment. Another thing that we do has to do with the service academy. So we have a lot of high school students, you have to be at least 17, who decide they want to go to military academies. And so we have a screening committee, a nominating process where a lot of bright young students from South Dakota can get into these academies. We do that on a yearly basis. Again, the best way to contact us if you're interested in going to one of the academies, the Air Force Academy, to West Point, the Naval Academy, any of the academies, service academies in this country. Our office is there to help with that, and we encourage our young people to look for opportunities to serve their country. Also in the area of federal grants, there are lots of federal dollars that are available through federal agencies, and so our office works to make sure that somebody in South Dakota that is eligible for one of those grant programs, maybe it's a school or maybe it's a charitable organization, somebody that's looking for help and qualifies for a particular grant, we help with that paperwork, connecting them with the agency, connecting them with the right person, and advocating on their behalf to try and get those grant dollars made available to that worthy cause here in South Dakota. Those are some examples of things that we do on a daily basis in the area of constituent service. But I can't tell you enough how grateful we are for the opportunity to serve you, the people of South Dakota, on a daily basis. And sometimes we get lots of interesting requests for some of the things along the lines I've mentioned. Sometimes we help people adopt babies, for example, from other parts of the world, and sometimes that's hard to do. You deal with not only an agency in this country, but an agency in a foreign country. We've helped lots of loving South Dakota parents help bring their kids back. We've helped a lot of people just in the current crisis with COVID, people who are outside the United States from South Dakota and want to get back. Either they're working abroad or they were traveling abroad, and trying to get those people back into our state is an example of a way that our office has been active even during the current crisis we're in. But anyway, I just want to give you a little bit of a flavor of some of the things that you can take advantage of through our offices, and to let you know that we are there to serve you. It really is about service, and as I said before, when it comes to constituent service, our offices are there for that purpose, and we welcome and look forward to hearing from you, and hope that sometime, if you haven't had the chance yet, you will get a chance to come to Washington, D.C. and to visit and to see your buildings, those buildings that are built with taxpayer dollars that are there to serve you and to work on behalf of the American people and on behalf of the people of South Dakota. So that's that. We'll talk to you again soon, and in the meantime, we're getting closer to the end of the school year, and I know that's probably exciting for a lot of you. It's getting nice outside, more opportunities to get outside. We're going to look forward to that, and we know you are too. But hopefully before too long, in the not too distant future, we'll be able to get together and to see each other again, person to person, instead of on a computer screen. Best wishes, study hard, God bless.